Hi, I'm Bob Kraus, President of the Veterans National Recovery Center, and we're here to talk today with Abbey Pearson. We're going to be talking more about spousal abuse and what the Army program is for this, which is sadly not very much. And we've had 3 episodes to build up to this episode where we're talking about the inability of the military to give her the financial assistance she needs to move on with her life. So without further ado, I'm going to turn you over to Abbey, and Abbey is going to talk to you. She has gotten out of the hospital, and she's working on her recovery. Can you tell us what all happened as your life came back together, Abbey?
Sure. And next thing I know, it's Thanksgiving, and then it's Christmas. And at some point, you know, I asked about my release. Could I see my kids? I wanted to be with my kids. They told me he was in jail. I didn't understand. But I wanted to see my kids and make sure, because if he was in jail and I was in the hospital, what was going on with him? I didn't know, you know. I assumed my family was taking care of them, which they were. But if it hadn't been for my family, we would have had nobody. I asked about, they agreed to discharge me for Christmas. So on December the evening of the 23rd, they rolled my wheelchair out, and I asked them about physical therapy, and they told me I wouldn't need it, that I wouldn't be walking on that. And I came to our house where all the utilities were off. My children were with my parents, and I called them, and they told me I needed to find a shelter. You know, it was Christmas time, and I was confused. And I'm sorry. But my kids, they clung to me that first couple of months so hard. It's like they woke up one morning, I was gone. They woke up, their dad was gone. And then I was back. They didn't wake up and I'm gone again. But they saw everything that I was going through physically. I was still healing from skin grafts and, you know, reconstructive surgeries, and I was still having nightmares every night where I would wake up screaming, crying. I would just have breakdowns. And I tried, and eventually was able to start kind of putting things together, figuring things out, like in my brain, putting them in order. My brain injury had jumbled everything up. And when it started to come together, I realized that I had lost everything. Not just my leg. I couldn't just jump out of bed and run to the bathroom. I did that a couple of times. I tried. I no longer had a house, or all my possessions were in a suitcase. My kids' toys were gone, their clothes were gone. My husband was gone. Everything that I knew was gone. And I didn't know what to do, and nobody was reaching out to me. And I still reached out, tried to call, and I was just met with disdain and annoyance. I was just an annoyance because they wanted nothing more to do with him or I. And for months, I tried to get help. They are supposed to provide a transitional compensation to help a spouse like me that lost everything to be able to support my kids until I got better. But I didn't even have my health care taken. I owe this hospital millions of dollars. And nobody seemed to care. I told them, I told you guys this was going to happen, and they did not ever hearing from me. And that was that. And so for 10 months now, I've went without anything except social programs. And if I hadn't had family and friends in the area, I would be in a shelter right now with 3 little kids, including a toddler, my 7-year-old with autism, and my 10-year-old, little boys in a wheelchair, and have nothing. And when I am asking them, and I keep on asking, where is it? I applied for it. I'm supposed to get this. Please help me at least so that I can start rebuilding my life. Or life for them. These kids don't deserve any of this. At that time, I'd been beaten down so much by him that I thought maybe I deserved what I had gotten. But I knew they did not. And I knew that I was the only one that they could count on to take care of them. And so I started fighting. I got on social media. And I got on their pages and I asked them questions. Mm-hmm. And they asked me to stop.
Yeah. Now, one thing that you mentioned to me, Abby, is that you did some research on the Army and how many people they have in the United States Army that help victims of spousal abuse such as you. How many people was that they had?
It was not I that did the research. I was told last week that the reason my case was taking so long is because there's a single woman in Texas that handles these packets. And she was on vacation. And she was overwhelmed anyways because this is so common that there's a bunch of women waiting like you are. Mm-hmm. At least you have somewhere to stay. Yeah. That's what I was... To be patient.
Mm-hmm. And this is what we're going to talk about right now. Abby, I'm just going to interrupt for a little bit to say that we're going to have a fundraising site on our Facebook page for Abby Pearson. And the way it works, it's we don't have a method to earmark it, but if you when you put your dollar amount in for a contribution, put 03 for like 3 children. Put 03 in the cents line. So if you're giving $10, please give $10.03. And that way we will know that that money will be earmarked for Abby to get her through until the Army gets sensitive about what their PTSD is doing to the family. The other thing you can do, write your congressman. This is a travesty, and as Abby has said, she is not the only person that is going through this. There are many people all over the country. I had a battalion that I retired right before the war. They went overseas. They had 19 people married. They had 17 of those people got divorced right after they got back. This PTSD is very stressful, extremely stressful on families. You're seeing one victim right here. Remember it, do something about it. This is Bob Krause, President of the Veterans National Recovery Center, and I'd like to offer Abby, if you could, just a closing word on this whole episode.
I was okay with them ignoring. But when I heard that this is so common, I was outraged, as everybody should be. Because I'm one thing, and this might be some isolated case, but if this happens all the time, that's the tragedy. And everybody, this is everybody's tragedy. My children, this will affect them growing up. This will affect me forever. My husband is in jail forever, you know? And the people that shook his hand a year ago would spit in his face right now. And he's the same sick person.
I think we'll close on that. I know you loved your husband. He's still a good man. He's got a bad illness that America has not yet faced up to. I'd like to thank you, Abby, for your time. We'll talk in the future, and thank you very much. We'll try to have this up on Facebook as soon as we can. Thank you very much. This is Bob Krause wishing you a great day. Thank you.